For WLCSports.com, I'm Matt Friedman. I'm joined by Warriors head football coach Dennis Miller as we preview this Saturday's game. The Warriors travel to take on Concordia, Chicago. It's a 1 o'clock kickoff from Concordia Stadium. First of all, Coach, a quick look back at last week, a 17-6 victory over Benedictine. The talk last week was all about coming off of a tough loss against Lakeland, putting that behind this team, and it looked like they did that quite well on Saturday.
I was very pleased with that. We preach all the time, win or lose, that that game is over and they have to move on to the next one. But oftentimes when you have a loss like we did against Lakeland, there's a little bit of a hangover. And our players didn't have any of that. They practiced hard all week. They put it behind them. They looked forward to the next game and wanted to be 1-0, and it's exactly what we did. We came out and played very well against Benedictine.
And part of that victory was Mike Reeves, your running back, piled up 36 carries, 181 yards on the ground. What's it like for him as a running back and for that offensive line to know that, hey, we can just put this game away continuing to pound the ball?
Well, it's really exciting, and our offensive line gets excited to block for Mike because they know that if they give him a crease, if they give him a seam, he's going to be through it and make some things happen. And Mike played a great game. He was strong from start to finish. We gave him a breather a couple of times during the course of the game on some of our longer drives just for him to get a little bit of wind back, but he battled hard throughout, and 36 carries is a lot of carries, but he did a really nice job with it.
And how about the effort by your defense, giving up just 6 points, and that was on a short field at the end of the half, and limiting Benedictine. We talked about Artie Monaco, their running back all week, was first team All-NAC last year and held Benedictine to -4 rushing yards.
Very impressive effort. In fact, as I shared with you off the air, I feel bad that it wasn't a shutout because our defense played well enough to have a shutout. They just did a really nice job at rallying to the ball. When the ball was in the air on the perimeter, we had several guys coming up and getting involved in the play. And then they just did a great job at bottling up Monaco. He is a dangerous back, and if you give him any creases at all, he's going to make something happen. And we just responded very well, and he had no room to work.
And we're at the point in the season now where every team is dealing with injuries, but certainly you've had a lot of them, especially on your offensive line and on defense. How's the team dealt with that so far?
Well, it's a great thing to see because you always preach that you're one play away from getting into the game, and if you practice right, when that opportunity arises, you see kids that really show themselves. And we had a number of kids, we continue to have a number of kids that have been given the opportunity due to injury, and they've stepped forward and have done a wonderful job. Last week was no different. I think we had guys step in on both sides of the ball, offense and defense, and in some ways we did it without missing a beat.
Taking on Concordia, Chicago, Saturday, 1 o'clock kickoff. What did you see on film this week from Concordia, Chicago?
Well, they're a good football team. They certainly have the ability to move the football. We've watched a lot of tape on them from our exchanges with the conference, and they certainly have a multiple way of moving the football. Defensively, they get after it. They move around. They play a variety of different coverages. I'm sure they're sitting looking at their situation without having won and yet played quite well in that they need to just get over the hump. So our biggest battle is just go in and stay focused because it's going to be a great football game.
And finally, as you look forward to that Saturday matchup against Concordia, Chicago, what's it going to take to walk out of there with a victory, your second straight NAC win?
Well, I think number one, we're playing on the road, so we have to stay focused. Playing not at our home and getting on the bus and driving down and so on. You just have to get rid of the distractions and focus on the next opponent. But I think if we just play the way we're capable of playing, and that means rallying to the football on defense, and offensively imposing our will, doing the things that we want to do and making sure that we're blocking it up right, I feel good about the game coming up on Saturday.
That's Warriors head football coach Dennis Miller. Warriors will take on Concordia, Chicago Saturday at 1 o'clock. The pregame show will start on WLCSports.com at 12:30.